Hi, my name is Laurie Blackwell, and I'm a teacher at the Public Academy for Performing Arts. I have been asked to record the answers to 4 questions for Phase 2 to see if I will be chosen for one of the presenters at the upcoming Teacher Leader Summit. The first question is, what is the single most important thing I want teachers to remember after my session? The single thing that I'd like teachers to remember after attending my session is that because we all learn differently, the use of a mnemonic device can help students recall important information by linking new information to what a student already knows. A mnemonic device can facilitate recall for students with varied learning styles, particularly visual, auditory, and verbal. And of course, from a mathematics standpoint, since I'm a math teacher, I would really like the students to learn that mnemonic device and help them recall the 6 primary properties that we use in math. The second question is, what are the 1, 2, or 3 points I'd like to make to help the audience remember that single thing? The first thing I'd like the audience to remember is that mnemonic devices are different than an acronym. So an acronym is like the FBI. So those initials only stand for Federal Bureau of Investigation, which are just words. A mnemonic device uses a word or the first letter of the word to link it to some other process for the students to remember. The second thing I'd like the audience to remember is that how the device is taught will make a huge difference in how the students learn it or remember it. And the third thing I'd like them to remember is that the current research in education totally supports using mnemonic devices to help students learn across the curriculum, not just in math. The third question is that if I'm successful, what will the audience think, feel, or do after my session? Well, if I'm successful, the audience will think, wow, that is a pretty cool device. And I can really see how students would relate to this. Then I think that the audience would feel really comfortable in using the device after we go through the presentation and then filling out the handout, which the students would be filling out on their end when the teachers were able to use it in their classroom. And then I think the audience would do, or what I would hope the audience would do, is that they would take this mnemonic device that I created and use it in their classrooms. It's really easy. I've used it for several years, and most of my students can recall the properties of math at this time, if I remind them of it. And then hopefully after using it in the classroom, the teachers will share it with others or let them know where they can find it. And the last question is to tell you guys about a time when I was a participant and the facilitator really inspired me, and what was it about the facilitator and the session that stuck with me. So after teaching for almost 30 years, I can't really recall like one single conference or a single facilitator, but one of the things that I've recalled from like several of them, that when there's things that I could really use, was that when I left that session, I was like, wow, that person was so interesting. They were at ease with the audience. They were animated. They were happy. They were upbeat. They walked around the room. They didn't just lecture and read their slides. So I think that was really great. And also when the facilitator solicited feedback from the audience and really encouraged that audience participation. I think that's what really makes a facilitator of a session stand out. Also, I think it's great when they have cool things for the participants to bring back with them. So they presented the information. It was great. They were animated, and and I could immediately bring that, whatever that tool was, I could immediately bring that back to my classroom and use it. So if I'm chosen, I hope that people will think, wow, that was really great, and I was animated, and that I solicited information and feedback, and yeah, that we had a good time. So I hope you choose me.